Most people today recognize the silver and blue Greyhound buses as a symbol of American travel, but almost no one knows the story of the one bus that nearly destroyed the entire company. It was supposed to be Greyhound's proudest creation, a futuristic machine that would dominate America's highways. Instead, it became a rolling disaster. A machine so flawed, so unpredictable, and so dangerous that it pushed the company to the edge of bankruptcy. And the strangest part, it all started with a dream that was meant to bring Greyhound into a golden age. In the early 1950s, America was obsessed with the future. Jet-age curves, chrome, fins, and bubble-like domes dominated design. People wanted speed, style, and something that felt like tomorrow. Greyhound, the biggest bus line in the country, believed it could create a highway icon that would change travel forever. A bus unlike anything anyone had ever seen. They called it the Scenicruiser. The first time Americans saw it, they were stunned. It had a double-decker profile with a raised passenger cabin. It had huge windows so people could see the country in full panoramic glory. It looked like a spaceship on wheels, the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a sci-fi movie, not on Route 66. People lined up at stations just to get a seat. Travelers wrote letters saying they had never seen anything so beautiful. Greyhound executives celebrated. They believed they had built the perfect machine. But beneath the shiny aluminum body, beneath the glamorous marketing pictures and the bold slogans, something dark, something dangerous, and something expensive was waiting. At first, the problem seemed small. A vibration here, a strange noise there. But soon the truth became impossible to ignore. The Scenicruiser wasn't just flawed, it was falling apart. Some buses struggled to climb hills. Others shook so violently that passengers held onto their seats in fear. The engine system, two engines that had to work together perfectly, became one of the biggest disasters in automotive history. If they drifted even slightly out of sync, the bus could lose power, stall, or even break down in the middle of a highway. Mechanics hated working on it, drivers were scared of it, and passengers, once excited, began complaining in huge numbers. Greyhound, now panicking, poured money into repairs. They believed the bus could be saved. But the more they fixed, the worse things became. Every mile the Scenicruiser traveled cost Greyhound more in repairs, refunds, and replacements. And still, the company refused to admit the truth. The most beautiful bus in American history was turning into its most expensive mistake. The real disaster, however, hadn't even begun. Behind the scenes, Greyhound and the manufacturer, GM, were locked in a silent war. Each blamed the other for the failures. Engineers argued, accountants panicked, and lawyers quietly prepared for a battle that could shake the entire transportation industry. As the buses rolled across the country, breaking down again and again, Greyhound executives slowly realized a terrifying truth. If they didn't find a solution soon, the Scenicruiser could bring the entire company crashing down. But they had already invested millions. They had already advertised it as the future of travel. They had already tied their entire public image to this one magnificent broken machine. And so, even as chaos increased, Greyhound kept the Scenicruiser on the road, hoping no one would notice how bad things really were. They had no idea that the worst was yet to come. Because hidden deep inside the design, inside the frame, the engines, the suspension, was a flaw that would soon explode into a scandal large enough to send shockwaves through the entire nation. A flaw so dangerous that mechanics whispered about it, drivers feared it, and investigators would later call it one of the most disastrous engineering failures in American automotive history. A flaw that would push Greyhound to the brink of collapse and force them into a decision that would change the company forever. The danger came quietly at first, a few mysterious breakdowns, a strange metallic crack, a vibration that felt stronger than before. But these were only hints of the disaster waiting inside the Scenicruiser's frame, an engineering flaw that no one wanted to admit. The Scenicruiser had been rushed, designed under pressure, and built in a way that looked impressive but tested the limits of what was possible at the time. The bus was enormous, heavy, and powered by an unusual twin-engine setup. Instead of one large engine, the Scenicruiser relied on two smaller ones that had to work in perfect sync. On paper, it sounded brilliant: more power, better fuel efficiency, and a smoother ride. In reality, it was a catastrophe. The engines constantly drifted out of alignment. Mechanics tried adjusting belts, tightening bolts, and recalibrating the system, but nothing worked for long. Every Scenicruiser became a ticking time bomb, one breakdown away from chaos. Passengers began noticing. Some remembered their ride as glorious but terrifying. Others said the bus felt like it was fighting itself. Drivers had to learn tricks, little insider techniques to keep the bus moving. Sometimes they had to shut down one engine, coax the other, and pray the system held together long enough to reach the next station. But the engine problem was only the beginning. Then came the cracks. Actual cracks splitting through the underframe of the bus. It was a structural failure that should never have happened. The Scenicruiser, with its heavy body and elevated passenger compartment, put enormous stress on its frame. After thousands of miles, the metal began to weaken. Welds snapped, critical joints loosened. The entire structure could bend slightly on the road, creating invisible pressure points that grew worse with every trip. Some drivers reported hearing a loud pop, followed by the entire bus leaning slightly. Others felt the floor vibrate like something was struggling beneath the metal. When inspectors finally checked, what they found shocked everyone. Dozens of Scenicruisers had frames that were literally breaking apart. For a transportation giant like Greyhound, this was a nightmare beyond imagination. A structural failure meant danger, real danger. The risk of the bus bending, collapsing, or failing at high speed was too serious to ignore. Greyhound realized the harsh truths. If even one Scenicruiser suffered a catastrophic failure with passengers on board, the company wouldn't just lose money, it might lose everything. The lawsuits would be massive, the government would intervene, public trust would evaporate. Greyhound rushed to repair the frames. But repairing a bus was one thing, rebuilding one was another. They had nearly 1,000 Scenicruisers on the road. Replacing frames, correcting engines, strengthening joints, it was a financial nightmare. Every day more buses cracked, more engines failed, more money disappeared. Greyhound wasn't just losing profit. They were bleeding. Executives panicked. Mechanics worked around the clock. The company tried patching the problem with temporary fixes, hoping no one would notice the scale of the disaster. And through all of this, Greyhound and GM argued behind closed doors. GM claimed the design was fine if Greyhound maintained it properly. Greyhound insisted the design was rushed, defective, and dangerous. The tension grew until it finally exploded. Greyhound made a decision that would shock the entire transportation industry. They prepared to launch one of the largest corporate battles in American history. Lawsuits were drafted, evidence was collected, engineers were interviewed, the truth was undeniable. The Scenicruiser was breaking the company. But the worst part, Greyhound still couldn't get rid of it. They had invested too much money, advertised too heavily, and relied too deeply on the Scenicruiser to simply walk away. The only path left was to fight. And that fight would determine whether Greyhound survived or collapsed under the weight of its own dream machine. Greyhound's internal documents painted a dire picture: exploding repair costs, collapsing frames, engine failures, and an entire fleet becoming a financial sinkhole. If nothing changed, the company would fall. And so, in a bold and desperate move, Greyhound turned against its own partner. They confronted General Motors with undeniable evidence: hundreds of pages of mechanical reports, photos of cracked frames, testimonies from terrified drivers, and engineering analyses proving the twin-engine system was a flawed experiment. GM had no choice but to respond. It became one of the most important engineering disputes of the decade. Quiet, tense meetings dragged on for months as both sides argued over responsibility. But while the lawyers debated, the truth was becoming clear. Fixing the Scenicruiser would cost millions, rebuilding it would cost even more, and replacing it entirely almost impossible. Greyhound was trapped. The Scenicruiser was supposed to be the company's crown jewel, but now it was an anchor pulling them into financial chaos. They needed a solution that wouldn't destroy their public image and wouldn't bankrupt them. Then, in a surprising turn, GM made a concession. They agreed to help redesign the Scenicruiser's power system. The twin-engine failure was too big to ignore. The fix was drastic. Remove the original system entirely and replace it with one large, reliable Detroit diesel engine. Every Scenicruiser would need a massive mechanical surgery. It took years, thousands of hours, countless mechanics, millions of dollars. But slowly, painfully, the Scenicruiser began transforming from an engineering disaster into a stable, dependable bus. The frame issues were reinforced, the engines were replaced, The worst flaws were corrected. The buses slowly returned to service, stronger, safer, and finally reliable. But the damage had already been done. Greyhound survived, but barely. The financial wounds took years to heal. And the reputation of the Scenicruiser was scarred forever. Even though passengers loved the design, even though the bus remained a visual icon, Greyhound executives could never forget the crisis it created. The Scenicruiser became a symbol of ambition gone wrong, a reminder that even the most beautiful ideas can become dangerous when rushed. By the 1970s, the last Scenicruisers were quietly retired. No grand farewell, no celebration. The bus that was meant to lead Greyhound into the future slipped into history, remembered only by enthusiasts and those who lived through the chaos. Yet today a few survive, restored, polished, revered as legends. Most people who see them have no idea that these shining machines nearly destroyed the biggest bus company in America. But the truth remains. The Scenicruiser was both Greyhound's greatest dream and its greatest disaster. And that is the untold story of how one beautiful, futuristic bus came closer than anything else to ending a transportation empire.